of 86. Whew, working out is tough. Under mostly sunny skies. No real chance of rain today. 73 to 86. Kind of bleh. 100% humidity. Feels like 104.
Yeah, the mosquitoes still aren't going anywhere, though.
No, the funny thing about mosquitoes, if you'll go to Deerland Feed, mosquitoes aren't nomadic. They usually stay right within the zone of where they're hatched. They seek the underside of leaves and grass, and they will stay right there. If you can eliminate them in your yard, you can eliminate them in your life. So there you go. It's a little tidbit.
Scott Tomko, good morning. Diane Tippett checking in. Judge Posey, good morning.
Judge.
Robin Moore Knipling, Stephen Kidder, Jeff Finley, Richard King.
Hi, Jeff.
Natalie Mayer, good morning. Carrie Bump.
You both look dapper this morning, but that he's speaking Dick.
Must be.
You both look dapper. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, Stephen.
I just have to go to San Antonio. I put down a few miles yesterday.
Lisa Poole, Daniel White, Karen Webb. City sprayed Northcrest this morning for mosquitoes. It's good to hear.
Scott's out there freebasing DEET. Oh, that's goodness. Smells like victory.
Got to cut that
mosquito spray
99% DEET with vinegar.
Right? Is that what you cut it with?
I don't know.
I think it's all water these days. Yeah, all water soluble. But today's a good day to spray.
So
very low amounts of wind. Today's a good day to spray. Boy, look how green the grass is out there. From our perch here on the 5th floor of the Tower of Power, Victoria is very green. Green and wet.
Scott Tomko says it's better than caffeine.
Right.
Justin Glass, good morning. Bobby Leister checking in. The Leisterometer is holding steady at 1,004 YouTubers. So let's start with the sad news this morning. Tragedy in San Jose at a commuter rail yard. Employee walks in, shoots and kills 8 of his coworkers. Some media sources reporting 9 dead. I don't give a crap about the gunman, other than for the carnage that he and the lives he took and the lives around those whose he's absolutely shattered and destroyed.
8 people and an idiot.
Yeah, that's what it is. But here's the thing: in reading about this morning as I woke up, and that was the headline that I saw. The guy's ex-wife says he has anger issues. No kidding. Really? The guy lit his house on fire before going over to the place he worked and shooting it up.
He wanted to make sure she didn't get it.
I guess, yeah. Well, probably already, I don't know. But supposedly he told her that this was something he wanted to do. She didn't say anything to anybody?
Yeah, the media finds her immediately after the melee, and then she's got all kinds of stories to tell. I'm not surprised. He was a violent guy. Said he might do it. But I didn't tell anybody. I just went to the club.
I mean,
but do any of you folks blame a gun for this? Does anybody really say that's why we need more gun control? That's why you need more personal control. See, the movement towards gun control is a furthering of the leftist agenda that nobody's really accountable for anything they do. Everybody's good. So we take away things. So you don't think this guy apparently was violent, angry around his wife, burned his house to the ground. You don't think this guy would walk into a workplace and start stabbing people? And then what is the number of a mass murder with a knife? Is it 3, 2? Take away all the sharp objects. I mean, do people like this guy start building bombs instead of shooting people?
Oh, he did that too. There were bombs placed all through the workplace. Apparently, they called the bomb squad in to get rid of a whole bunch of
disarm.
There's the word I'm looking for.
Crazy's going to do what crazy's going to do. Lisa Poole says, didn't the ex-wife say there needs to be more gun control?
I don't know, but
good morning, Sheriff Louderback. I talked to HR Mallory yesterday. He's been on assignment with the DHS down like he was over around Catula. I hope that's not like double secret probation stuff I'm giving out.
Andy Rhea Jr. checking in. Patrick Strauss, good morning.
That does not mean
Sheriff
you can
Louderback?
speed. You can't speed up and down 59 because the state troopers were having a donut convention in the median the other day. There were 3 of them sitting there. $200,000 worth of Tahoes sitting there, and 3 dudes with a dozen Krispy Kremes.
Chris Ray Brissett.
Yes.
Sean Tompkins says bombs are outlawed yet.
Yeah, good point. Hope y'all are doing great. We miss Bill Posey. Bill Posey's out this week. His show will be back next Monday.
I would think maybe Tuesday. He might take Memorial Day.
Tuesday, yeah, like we will too, I imagine. Hey, but Bill Posey, as much as we love Bill on the air, when Bill's here, like Ash and I literally walked in here at 5 till 7. We instinctively, I grab the banner, he grabs one side, no words are spoken, the banner's hung. He starts working on the computer, I start working on the iPad. And
it's like pairs figure skating. We just know what each other's got to do.
Yes, and you look ravishing in your
I lift him up and spin.
And you've got your sequin tutu on. Our biggest arguments come over who gets to dress like the girl. But in 3 minutes, we're on the air. Stop. Figure skating brought to you by Jenny Craig.
J. Mark Jameson, producer extraordinaire. Rena Scherer, good morning. Peter McNally, Tokyo Olympics could be canceled. The COVID scare. I thought they were going to go ahead.
I don't know. Didn't the U.S. issue travel warnings for Japan just recently?
Yes.
But, here's something else to know. So BJ says I'm cutting out.
No, you're good. Everything's fine.
Ash says you're wrong, BJ. Those people aren't really COVID susceptible. I'm just sorry. It's just they're in peak physical condition. They're all under the age of 30, except maybe the curling team. They're all under the age of 30. Nobody in the Olympic realm is going to get sick. It's just not going to happen.
No.
People don't like that. You find a disease that attacks the old and the weak and the fat, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, we got to shut down the world for the old and the weak and the fat. When somewhere in Washington right now in Washington, D.C., somebody's calculating how much money could we save on Medicaid if 10% of the octogenarians in America died? They do it every day. Why do you think when they decided 20 years ago, we're going to raise the
Social Security
age from 67 to 67, cha-ching, that's billions of dollars a month that they don't have to pay out. As the baby boomers were turning 65 at like a rate of, pick a number, 100,000 a day.
Meanwhile, China is continuing with experimentation on biological weapons that will target specific people based on whatever criteria they want, ethnicity, gender, you name it. These are the things that China has been working on, folks. And a year ago, when Donald Trump was president and suggested that this might have been manufactured in a lab, he was crazy. Anybody who said the same thing was banned on Facebook. Their posts were taken down. Now, all of a sudden, because Joe Biden says it might be a possibility, the media is running with this thing.
The media embraces that as like bad Chinese,
And here's the tell. If you want to know that China was absolutely complicit and guilty in this thing, here's how you know. Because China issued a statement through their foreign ministry. The U.S. is obsessed with spreading lab leak theory and other conspiracy theories and disinformation. What they did is total disrespectful of the spirit of science and the research results of the World Health Organization expert team and undermine global anti-epidemic efforts and solidarity. When China starts criticizing other countries, you know damn well China's guilty. Boom.
No doubt about it.
They were critical when first accused of covering up the pandemic or the virus. It wasn't a pandemic at that point. Now they're trying to deflect the fact that there's a whole lot of smoke around the Wuhan lab. We may not have a fire yet. But boy, oh boy, things are starting to look a whole lot like Mike Pompeo and Donald Trump said they were in January and going back a year or so. But now because Biden says it, oh, it's okay. The media can run with it. The White House can call for an investigation in China. When President Trump tried to do the same things and made statements, the media called him racist.
Absolutely. I'm reading something that's going to share with
so
you.
So that it's just, it's absolute. And what I'm finding out with this administration is anything that Donald Trump did was bad, and they will undo it. Doesn't matter. Their perception of it was bad. They don't care whether it had any positive effect on this country or not. It's just Donald Trump did it. We've got to undo it and damn with the ramifications and the consequences. Case in point, our southern border. They have undone all of the policies and law tightening that the President Trump's administration did and put in place. And now look at the problem we have on the southern border.
Absolutely. Torrin Bale says Trump was right again. The Biden picked a guy. You see this to be the head of the ATF?
Oh, this guy. I watched some of his testimony yesterday.
This guy's a clown. David Chipman.
He's a known anti-gun activist.
Yeah, David Chipman. He's a former special agent to the ATF. So basically, Senator Tom Cotton, who's a Republican from Arkansas, says, you have called for a ban on assault weapons. I have a simple question for you. What is an assault weapon? This is the answer the guy gives. Senator, as an assault weapon would be in the context of the question you asked, whatever Congress defines it as. So he's saying, I'm going to turn this over to Congress, and whatever they determine is an assault weapon, then I want to ban that.
Yeah. And there's no such thing as an assault weapon. It's a made-up term to fearmonger. It's a made-up term by the left and the media to fearmonger against guns.
Any semi-automatic rifle capable of accepting a detachable magazine above the caliber of .22, which would include the .223, which is the most popular round for the AR-15, and the AR-10 is a .308.
And I believe that was actually, he finally answered that question when somebody else asked him it. I think it wasn't even Tom Cotton that asked him at that time. I don't think. I'm not sure. He was struggling to define this for a number of senators yesterday.
And this guy finally said, Senator, he said, Mr. Chipman, you have literally included every modern sporting rifle in the definition of an assault weapon. Yeah, assault is something that's done by somebody, not something. Is it an assault butter knife? I can assault you with a butter knife, correct? But it's not an
assault shaker.
It's not an assault butter knife.
No.
Has Steve Kidder given us the word of the day?
No, we have to use those words, and then he points it out. I used that word yesterday.
Slovenly?
Yes, to describe your appearance on other days.
That's somewhat arbitrary.
Trying too hard to get that word.
Right.
Day, aren't you?
Don't try too hard, folks. If you have a fender bender, have an accident, have a dead vehicle, Allen's Wrecker Service, 578-6300. Don't force it. Let the Segways come to you.
What if you have an assault vehicle?
Sit back on your toes and just wait for the Segway to come, and then step in front and take the charge. Allen's Wrecker Service, 578-6300.
Ran into Janet yesterday. Busy.
There you go. There is.
Saying too many people don't know how to drive on wet roads.
Oh, there's a lot of bad drivers in Victoria. There's the banner behind you. Provided by Compadres Design Inc., where you should get all your banners done. This banner every day gets folded and thrown on the floor, and look at it. It looks brand new. Compadres uses the best materials, the best inks, the best designers, the best staff, the best crew, the best insurance agent. That would be me. The VCS companies are our banner sponsor for a reason. They are our standard of excellence in Victoria when it comes to customer service, when it comes to quality, when it comes to getting the job done. Breadth of service, if it videos, if it records, if it projects, if it communicates, the VCS companies is your place.
Absolutely. And the only locally owned and authorized AT&T retailer.
Absolutely. Chesnick Furniture Company, 101 years in downtown Victoria. 116 West Lawn Lane, corner of Lawn Lane and Bridge. I was going to say 106. 116, there's probably 106 as well. 116 West Lawn Lane, the corner of Lawn Lane and Bridge. That's Chesnick Furniture Company. You just do better at Chesnick.
And Veracruz. Had the pleasure of enjoying lunch there yesterday.
I got to see you and Coach Adrian.
See you. Saw Chief Arredondo there, but
T-Lat was there.
He wasn't incognito. He was in full regalia.
Well, did he have the shawl? Did he wear the cape?
Yes.
He has that cape. It's blue with red piping. It's very nice. Has that big gold star embroidered on the back.
Right in the middle of it.
It's awesome.
Big Chief shield.
Yeah.
Super Chief.
And he carries a big Chief notepad. Anything you need, he's got. Chief Arredondo.
And a supply of Big Chief.
Those big fat pencils.
Wasn't there a Big Chief beef jerky as
well? Yeah, there was. Big Chief also used to get the pink rubber eraser with the Indian on it as well.
Wasn't that the brand of gas that Texaco had at one point too? Wasn't it like Big Chief gasoline?
Was something Chief. Was it Big Chief, Power Chief, Super Chief? Like that? Somebody tell me.
Might have been a car with that too, or a truck, wasn't there? I don't know. We're going back. I'm going back.
Chevy had the Apache.
They had the Apache.
But was there the Chief model with pleather? Let's get the Chief. Comes with a little different paint scheme. War paint on the hood. Veracruz, though, yesterday. Fantastic. It was called a Wednesday, and the Hernandez brothers were there. The three of the four, Adolph, Mike,
Fire
and Chris.
Chief. There you go.
Fire Chief. Thank you. Adam Sugar says Chief's performance hasn't looking like Gaddafi in this. He's kind of, it's a dressy deal. You got to work out. I mean, it's a constant trap workout just to hold all those gold stars up.
Stuart Martin says the Pontiac Chieftain. There we go.
Right? There was a wagon. Was that it? Was the Chieftain the wagon?
Bob Wiley says, wasn't it Sky Chief?
That was the plane fuel.
Sippy, good morning to you. We're not going to throw on any Slayer and thrash metal for you. Doesn't fit the format.
Nice. Place it. Yeah. How about a birthday cake and some Metallica?
Oh, it's too passe.
We've done that.
Oh, Lord.
By the way, not certain, but was told yesterday emphatically that the lady that I gave the cake to that said, "Happy birthday, Minnie," whose birthday it was actually Belinda Martinez's mother and is not named Minnie. Ida told me yesterday, "Why were you giving that cake to Belinda's mother?" I go, "What are you talking about?" I said, "That was Minnie." She goes, "No, it's not Minnie. She gave me her name, Rivera, I think." Anyway, I went, "Okay, I don't know. I think you're," but at any rate, we digress.
We do.
What does it say? Monica Joe says, "I remember a number of years ago when the Advocate actually had a police beat column where there was an incident where a woman assaulted her husband with a frozen chicken." You got to like that.
That's why Chief Arredondo took the job.
I can remember reading the Advocate when I was little, and so my mom and dad always read Dear Abby. You have to think about this, folks. There was no internet.
No.
There were 3 channels, and we didn't even count Channel 39.
Fox wasn't even around yet.
Didn't exist. No.
You wrote to the newspaper for advice, and you waited with bated breath at your doorstep every morning to see if Dear Abby would find your situation unique enough, sad enough, strange enough, funny enough to put it in the newspaper. Therapists didn't exist. You couldn't go talk to counselors and to psychiatrists and psychologists. If you had a problem, you reached out to Dear Abby. And if she didn't answer it, You sucked it up and you moved on.
The one but you didn't get divorced and you didn't kill anybody. The one I read that I remember it as a kid. If my mother listens to this, she'll remember this as well, because it was like, oh, that was a little risque for Abby. I may be like 6, 7, 8 years old. Man, 8.
It wasn't actually 2 sisters.
8 or 9 years old, I think it was. And her sister also
wrote a column.
Yeah. And neither one of them was named Abigail. I don't believe. The article, the woman had written in, and she wrote this long deal about how she was in love with her husband, but he always insisted on having sex on Tuesday night, and that Wednesday was her wash day, and she was worn out on Wednesdays from him keeping her up so late at night. Abby, what do you suggest I do? And Abby said, change your wash day. That cracked me up as a little kid. You got to go along to get along there, babe.
Abigail Van Buren.
Abigail
Pen
Van Buren.
name, also known as Jean Phillips.
Right. And what was her sister's name? Was her sister also? It's still being written.
I think his daughter's. I think her daughter is writing it now.
Is that a picture of her?
I think that is, but
Can you get to it?
It's not coming up for some reason. But
you need a new iPhone 12.
I need that one.
Was that what
her daughter is Jean Phillips, who's writing it now.
There you go.
She was Pauline Phillips.
What makes you think
I thought she had a sister too.
Ann Landers, thank you, BJ Nelson. Ann Landers, required reading at Baylor. Janet says, we kept ourselves entertained by batting our eyes and fawning over Brent.
Oh, Janelle Sarles.
Yeah, we went to high school together. If you want to know the truth, Janelle was like throwing things. I mean, I'm lucky I didn't get shanked in the hall. We've been friends a long time. I'm proud of that. I'm glad you listened. Thank you, man.
Adam Sugar, new segment, Dear Brent.
Right? Can you every day it's the same answer. Quit whining, suck it up, go to work. I mean, can you imagine if you came to me for empathetic advice? Really? Kids are starving at the border. You want to bring me problems about your dish soap?
And Casey Kasem was the original catfish.
Right.
He enabled catfishers.
Yeah. It's a double secret. What do you call it? It was a
long distance dedication.
Long distance dedication goes out to a soldier.
Yeah. Oh, there was always every second week was a soldier.
You had to cry.
Every in between week was some guy who met his love of his life, or some girl
said
who met
she
the
should
love of
have
her
kissed
life
you goodbye when you got on that transport.
Yeah, when they were at summer camp or something like that, right? That was always, it was either a soldier missing his girlfriend.
No. And it's like this. And she knows now that she should have waited for you. Here's All Out of Love by Air Supply.
Or somebody who 30 years ago at summer camp met the love of their life.
I lost her.
And lost her.
Yeah. It's yeah. He misses you and knows that he should have never married Lisa. Here's Bob Seger's Turn the Page.
I always regret not having a relationship with the girl I met at the Lakeside Summer Camp.
Right.
Signed, Jason Voorhees.
He says he knows exactly who you are and what you're doing. Here's Take It on the Run by REO Speedwagon. What did that say? Are we going to have Wade and Carter night at the Generals? Listeners can sit in one section and toast to Ash after the 5th inning. I think that every time Ash, I think what we do is we sit on the Atzenhofer, is it the Atzenhofer party deck? I don't know, but the party deck, and every time Ash says something, we take a shot. We could get Texas Coast Limousine to provide free rides. We could get like a dozen people. Last man standing as the tip, Constantine.
City Mortgage is going to sponsor the stolen bases. There's the drinking game.
There you go.
Chug your beer every stolen base.
That's actually a pretty good tie-in. You could say City Mortgage. Your payments will be so low you'll feel like you stole your home base.
Too wordy.
Too wordy.
Yeah. It's a Dornberg party deck. Thank you, Zach Smith.
The Dornberg
law,
party.
I guess.
Great. If you slip and fall, call the Dornberg law office.
What if you slip and fall on the Dornberg party deck?
Catch that DWI. Sue the people that sponsored it. Call Dornberg. We can help. I got loaded on the party deck at the Generals game. There was nobody there regulating my cocktails. So I called Dornberg, and we sued Riverside Park, Victoria, Texas, and sponsored the party deck.
Ryan Hopping says it's one competition he can win.
Right.
And they got a new game, the White Trash Dash.
The
I asked Scott for details the other day. He didn't have any for me.
He's
tight to the vest.
Look, I'll tell you right now, Scott Nelson doesn't get bogged down in marketing stuff. Number one, BJ is the queen of marketing. Yeah. And number two, he ain't going to say, she's going to go, well, we could do that, but we're going to do this. But I'll tell you this, you need a dumpster, you need a roll-off dumpster, you need trash service in this 7-county region, you call 550-1826.
You'll have a trash-tastic day from that day forward.
White Trash Services will come out and take care of you. That's what they do. You'll be glad you did. Call Atzenoffer. You need a new car to drive to the Generals games. Why not? New Chevy pickup.
Yep. My used car of the week, that
gone.
2016
sold.
Mazda CX-5, still there.
Is it still there?
Just a shade under 15 grand. That's a good deal.
Wow. No, that's anything that'll run's worth 10. Well, at least 5. It'll run. 5. Yeah. Reach out to Atzenoffer, atzenoffer.com. Since 1926.
They've been selling Victoria new cars, then used cars. Now they have Chevrolet, Cadillac, Mitsubishi, Mazda.
Barely getting by.
Just down the road from higher prices.
Yeah, stacking them deep, selling them cheap.
On the Navarro Motor Mile.
Selling cars like candy bars.
Atzenoffer and atzenoffer.com.
All those cars are built on Tuesdays.
They change. They go through inventory so fast, like your underwear.
There you go. Razor IT Solutions. No funny quips, no cute lines. JP Hull and his team can help you build a brand presence, tie your Facebook to your webpage, find a way for you to monetize things on the internet or on Facebook, put pay buttons, donate buttons.
Secure your data.
Keep you from getting hacked.
More importantly than generating revenue from your website, protecting you from having to be ransomed to get your data back.
Yep. Bob Wiley calls it the U-turn motor mile. You have a problem, you want to adopt a child, you want to put together a trust, a will, you need to dissolve a relationship, you need to solve a contractual problem. You get yourself in
prevent future problems by entering into a contract.
Now, there's a novel idea: proactive legal services. Reach out to the law offices of Steve Kidder before you get in a bind with your partner and create a document that lets you folks solve your problems outside the courthouse.
Did he ever come up with the word of the day? I don't know that he did.
The money you spend developing a suitable contract with Steve Kidder is a minimal percentage of what you'll spend disputing not having a contract. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, absolutely.
Sardonic. I can work on that.
So word of the day. Can you use that in a complete sentence?
Call Steve Kidder. Brandon Webb, the folks at
prenup. Craig Simpson says a prenup.
He can do a prenup. I guarantee it. Brandon Webb and the folks at Complete 360 can help you.
Yeah, they'll open at 8 o'clock at Complete 360, but the health bar is open now. If you want to start your day with a healthy alternative to a greasier, less healthy breakfast sandwich from some fast food joint, the health bar right there on Red River, just past Laurent, between Laurent and Ben Jordan, on the north side of Red River. They've got healthy breakfast alternatives, wraps, paninis, you name it, they've got it, and it's all phenomenal.
Absolutely. So sardonic, Ash, people might say that you and I could be a little sardonic, but I dispute that we're cynical or grimly mocking. I think that you and I are much more likely to just be realistic, blunt, and honest. We only have an hour. We don't have time to build empathy or sympathy around our comments. We simply can beat you in the face with the truth, and you can either absorb it or you may view us as sardonic. There you go.
Thank you.
Today's word of the day. Adam Sugar, yeah, I like that. Is a mid-nut a thing? Like mid-nut?
I guess you could. I guess if things get to that point.
I mean, if all of a sudden in your life there's a mud nip, do you maybe need a mid nub?
You might.
What are those words called when they're the same thing spelled forward and backwards?
Oh,
I saw a guy the other day had a T-shirt on it that said Taco Cat. He said Taco Cat is Taco Cat, no matter which way you spell it. Taco Cat. Thought that was funny.
That is pretty good.
Yeah, I'm not sure it was radio worthy, but it made me laugh.
Homophones.
Homophones? Palindromes. I'm gonna go with Dr. I'm gonna go with Dr. Andrew.
Palindrome, yeah. I think he's right.
Anagram?
What
is Callie Frommy woke up and for some reason just typed the word anagram? It has nothing to do with the conversation we're having.
Michelle Hawkins, good morning to you. So Amazon spending like $7 billion to buy MGM, including all its library and catalog of a bunch of Best Picture winners, all their TV programs that they're putting out there, including I think The Voice is one of theirs currently. But this will be their second largest acquisition after Whole Foods.
What, and who bought them?
Amazon. They paid $13 million, I think, for Whole Foods. Now they're going to spend almost $7 for, almost $9 for MGM.
So Zach Smith sends me a note on the double secret probation private line that says, "Hey, morning. Generals start the season on the road. Mañana. Open practice to the public today and volunteer day to spruce up the park at 5 o'clock. I like that. I hope you'll go down and pull some weeds out of the AstroTurf in the infield.
Take your deep."
Right? It says, would you want Coach O to stop by the show in the morning? If Coach Oros wants to come by the show, the Generals always get some love here. Come on by. We're on the 5th floor of the Tower of Power here at Laurent Tower.
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't show up to the old studio.
Yeah, tell him to come to the 5th floor. We like that.
Leila Escalona checking in. Rob DeBard, good morning.
Hello, Leila. Ralph's been traveling.
Mid-nup is a mid-course correction.
Right. A mid-course correction. I like it.
HR says, what about a post-nup for when you should have thought ahead but needed to bail you out?
Right. That's the government. That's a post-nup. You should have planned ahead, but you didn't, so the government bails you out.
Rob DeBard, tonight could get dumb. Perhaps I will facilitate a post-nup.
I like it.
Good morning, Jim Simpson.
Jimmy Three Cheese right there. Old mafia guy.
Oh, man. Regulatory approval. You think anybody in the government is going to tell Jeff Bezos that Amazon, no, you can't buy MGM. You've already got Amazon Prime. You're getting too powerful. This will just consolidate more of your power and turn you into a monolith of a corporation. Remember, it's interesting. We're getting to a time where we broke up Ma Bell.
Right.
We broke up the large cable companies. We broke up the large airlines. And now we're getting to a point again.
We broke up Exxon.
30 years later. Yeah, Standard Oil, all that stuff, right? 40 years later, everything's starting, and it started, probably 15 years ago. But everything's starting to come back together. All the monopolies are happening again. You've had airline mergers.
Y'all want some breaking news that you heard 6 months ago from Wade and Carter?
Yeah.
This is breaking news, folks. Seriously, this is on the live wire right now. Tell me we didn't tell you this honestly 6 months ago. Former Seattle Police Chief Carmen Best, who resigned last summer.
Female.
Black,
minority,
yes,
in a power of influence and in a position of influence and power.
Check all the boxes in a non-traditional role, minority, female, quit. She quit.
Craig
in
Simpson,
the most liberal place on the planet.
Craig Simpson says, please don't break up Pornhub.
Oh, wow.
They do have the monopoly, I think.
Former Seattle Police Chief Carmen Best, who resigned last summer after the Seattle City Council voted to cut millions of dollars from the police department's budget.
Well, and don't forget to preface this, they stopped her from doing anything to liberate the idiots, the occupiers of the Chaz.
That was a midfuss. A preface comes before I read. And if you want to make any comments, make a postface. It was not a preface. It was playing off the prenup thought. You're reading. You're not. I was funny there. Could somebody give me like a little laugh icon? That was like a midface. Okay, I'm sorry. The chief recently acknowledged what most people outside the Main Street media bubble already knew. The media manipulated news coverage inside Seattle's Capitol Hill organized protest, the CHOP, to make it look less dangerous. Didn't we say back then, this is all a ruse? They're acting like nothing's going on, and yet we had video on places like Telegram that Dawn keeps up with, on places like Newsmax, that people said, oh, that's a conspiracy channel. This is the former police chief. This is not just this is like Chief Arredondo going to a public forum and saying, man, we have problems in Victoria, and you people aren't acknowledging them. Oh, that's a lie. The advocate says everything's great here. We're going to take funds out of your department. It's exactly what it's like. The Main Street media manipulated the facts to make it look, because it was trendy. It was their agenda. Let's defund the police. We all get along. Let's decriminalize everything.
Well, remember that idiot on CNN? These are mostly peaceful protests. The city's burning behind them.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's peaceful protesters, and yet, a bunch of little old ladies and a couple of idiots get into the Capitol. Donald Trump started an insurrection.
So if you're going to go after that house of government, the other night in Portland, they went after a courthouse and the city hall. Finally, the police in Portland called it a riot. They've only been doing this for over a year in Portland, folks. But it was finally called a riot.
Whose future?
It was finally called a riot. But will it be called an insurrection? Will it be called an insurrection? I doubt it. You're going after a house of government, equates to the Capitol at a local level, City Hall, but it won't be called an insurrection. It's only an insurrection when Donald Trump's behind it.
That's correct. Bob Constance says they just curved the truth.
Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth?
You want to enhance your curve, your mortgage payment curve? Let me tell you what you do. This is exactly what you do. You call Motto Mortgage. You reach out to Terry Murray, 541-5454. She's going to refinance your home for you and roll the cost into that transaction. And your monthly payment is going to go down. So what do? You just keep making the same payment you've always made. If you're not smart enough to take the savings, let her do some new paperwork for you, cost you nothing.
No.
You keep making the same payment and you'll pay your house off quicker, because now you're making your principal, interest, and extra principal payment by paying your old mortgage payment. Folks, the time has never been better. I've done it. I only lived in my house for 2 years. I refinanced this last year. No reason not to do it. 541-5454. Went Services for generators, plumbing, general electrical work, new and remodel projects, whether you need solar panels, anything you need that involves energy or water. Reach out to Went Services. They will take care of you. I know them well. They are absolutely in demand and trustworthy, and a fine group of folks. Reach out to Went Services. USA Concrete Coatings, same thing. Charlie Garcia is the small business success story. You'll see him advertising on Cowboys games, even though the Cowboys are going to go either 5-12 or 6-11.
They advertise on Texans games too, I think.
He does. Well, you can't always.
No,
Can't always
want all the business.
That's right. 578 home. Charlie will come out in a day. Typically, in a day. Your garage is empty. They seal the cracks, clean the floor, put down a tough as nails polyurethane coating, better than any epoxy out there. Everybody agrees on that. Won't stick to your tires. Won't peel, crack. Anything's antimicrobial.
4 times stronger than any epoxy product on the market. You can
put solvents on it and get the oil right up. Folks, it's like the future has arrived today.
Yeah.
920-6803, call Cheryl at the Gray Barn. Let her come out and make your next party memorable.
It'll look great.
She looks great.
Well, just her showing up.
You've got that going for you. Yeah. She and T-Lat just walk in, put out a couple of votives, and stand in the corner. And it's like, wow, did you see the decorations at that place? Nice. 920-6803. Reach out to Cheryl. What I like about it is you can give her an idea. She's not planning your party.
No.
You want to serve chicken fried steak or ribeyes, that's up to you. But you want to have a setting that emphasizes the theme of the party. That's what she does. She does it better than anybody.
You want to class up that plate of hot dogs you're serving? She can do it.
There you go.
Most memorable hot dog you'll ever eat.
Justice Wotowski says, fitted foe. What Bob Watley says, Emmett Alvarez got in on the action. What action?
I don't know.
No. Okay, we won't worry about that.
Belarus in a little bit of trouble.
Airline?
I kind of like Alexander Lukashenko or whatever his name is. He was standing up to Putin, but
you act like you don't know who he is.
Now he's acting like Putin.
Do you have the contract on that guy?
No, not yet.
Okay, so don't act like all right, Kiloshenko. Okay, I'm not sure I know his name.
Yeah, no, not yet. Clayton Meyer, good morning to you, but
Clayton.
I liked him. He was standing up to Putin. Now he's acting like Putin. Forces a plane to be grounded so they can pull a journalist off it. And yeah.
Is that what that was? Yeah. What was the other day that didn't somebody
that was
ban?
That was the hijacked plane, right? The Ryanair, wasn't that? I guess it's an
I thought Irish Belarus banned some airline from flying in their airspace because Russia or somebody got a jet too close to their airspace. I thought that happened just last week as well. Belarus, where's Belarus and what does Belarus mean to us?
It used to be part of the Soviet Union.
Yeah, so where are they?
Their own.
They're their own little country.
Yeah.
How cute. It's like a bed and breakfast.
Soviet Republic.
It's like a bed and breakfast for Russia. But are they near Ukraine? Which Minsk. Is not
Where's
the
Minsk?
Ukraine.
Minsk? I'd have to look at a map. I don't.
Oh, folks, when Ash goes into complete KGB denial mode, I don't know what to do with him. I mean, I ask him these
China. It's like China denying the epicenter of the coronavirus.
I ask you the most commonsensical. I mean, any Soviet operative knows these answers off the top of their head, and you choose to feign ignorance. It's sophomorish. It's actually sardonic. It makes me sardonic. I feel like I just want to mock you, and I'm cynical about your remarks because I have no confidence that you're telling me the truth. Because I know that you know that I know that you know where Belarus is because you've probably done operations there.
I cannot speak here to anything you're speaking about right now.
Okay, I understand. Folks, he's in complete denial mode, which means there are active Soviet operations going on in Belarus as we speak. Look at that. Like Ash doesn't really know? Right. Nobody believes that. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
We can do better. We've done better.
Randy Schneider spies like us.
Right? Hiding in plain sight, people.
Exactly.
Hiding in plain sight. Speaking of hiding in plain sight, you know the man who cannot hide.
The brother man.
The brother man.
I tell you who can't hide right now. What is it? Royal Dutch Shell?
Oh, interesting story here, folks.
A Dutch court has ruled that Shell is responsible for global warming.
Yeah. Now, make no mistake.
Climate change.
Royal Dutch Shell probably pays 2/3 of the taxes. Right? I mean, tell me I'm wrong. Yeah. They fund the government.
Their taxes are probably paying for this judge's salary to rule against them. Yeah.
Well, I mean, and
they've been told to have their carbon emissions by 2030. They've got 9 years to cut them by almost 50%. I think
We
45%
choose to
the
do it
actual-
because it's hard, not because it's easy.
And interestingly enough,
they need JFK. They need John F. Kennedy. I got my brother Bobby.
Shell had said they were going to get there by 2050. The court says, no, not good enough. You got to get there by 2030.
I could broker a deal for 2040. Let's split the difference and call it even. All right, everybody get in the limo.
Earlier this month, the U.S. Supreme Court sided with Royal Dutch Shell, Chevron, and ExxonMobil in a climate change lawsuit that was brought about by the city of Baltimore. So, and that
Thank goodness Baltimore stood up for all of us.
Here's what's going to happen. Royal Dutch Shell is going to move their corporate headquarters before 2030 so they can get out of the jurisdiction
to Austin,
of the Netherlands.
To the Woodlands. They're going to come into Friendswood.
They're either going to come to the U.S. or they're going to go to some tax haven and wonder, why didn't we do this
Wait a
before?
minute. Stop.
The Virgin Islands.
Midnup. Let me give you a midnup right here. Why don't we get the VEDC to reach out to Royal Dutch Shell and tell them that we'll give them a tax abatement if they'll come here and build a complex in downtown Victoria?
Hey, why wouldn't you?
Royal Dutch Shell, Texas. It's got a ring to it.
It would provide enough jobs that you could, there'd be tax abatements.
Yeah.
They got time to get it done. That's a good idea.
Royal Dutch Shell.
That's the type of forward thinking that.
Coming to their new home in Victoria, Texas.
Hey, at one point, somebody had to put their first head office in Houston, right?
Right? Sure wish we had a port. But we've got an airport. They can fly in the Royal Dutch Shell Embraer 300.
I just want to see the Royal Dutch Shell Air Force.
Can you imagine if you are the Netherlands and you tell Shell, no, we're ruling against you? I mean, it's a bold publicity stunt, but does anybody even know where the Netherlands is? It's the Netherlands. It's not the Wonderlands. It's neither here nor there. Am I being sardonic?
Well, maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Grimly mocking.
Royal Victoria Shell. I like it.
There you go. BJ Nelson says they can buy the Pioneer, and so that'd be a nice place.
That wouldn't be a nice place for your head office. You got to have a nice skyscraper.
We need a
office
tower.
Spaces. That place is
Royal Dutch Shell Tower, managed by Winlet. Bill Winlet can manage it.
Have you noticed what's happening on Navarro? The old Ryan Steakhouse is gone. That was
Wilkinson
Wilkinson Chevrolet was there for a little bit. Port Lavaca Ford was in there for a little bit. Right. That building has been demolished.
The Spirit was in there.
Going north, the old Burger King across from Lowe's is gone, and Centro del Norte.
Is that where the
old city?
I'm glad about that. I'll tell you
that was an eyesore.
I never said anything about it. Well, it was an eyesore because when the city quit inhabiting it, they took that one little push mower they had, and that you could have grazed a herd of goats over there on Navarro, and it still said City of Victoria on the building. That was a little bit disheartening for me.
But somebody bought the Burger King, and it's been demolished. So what do you think is going to go there?
I think, Brother Man, have you heard anything about what's going in there on North Navarro?
Before we get there, what do you think will go there?
Oh, I know what ought to go there. If you want a can't miss deal, now I'm being sincere here. You want a can't miss deal, you put a little strip center, right?
Yeah.
You got a Mexican food restaurant.
Very bland looking strip center.
Yeah, bland. It needs to be built to look retro. Like let some fascia hang and stuff. And you need a Mexican food restaurant, a check cashing place, and a mattress store. That's what you need there to be Victoria on the move. Then we get that ribbon cuttings. The new mattress store opened today on Navarro called Cartel Mattress. Come on in and launder your money. That's what we need there. What do you think is going in there?
I have no idea what's going there.
Brother Man knows. He knows.
Sean Bells was talking.
A new jewelry store. No, he's retired. He's out of the business and has been.
They were looking at some, just people are calling in, checking. Some people are showing interest. several fast food places.
Well, like we need more of those.
Like a Taco Bueno or a Kentucky Fried. Or
Ugh.
McAllister's Deli.
KFC,
Can we
it's
all
not
just
friendly.
vomit? Cheryl said that we need a Trader Joe's. BJ Nelson says we need a Luby's. BJ, do we need to like puree your fillet of fish? I mean, really?
Just call BJ old.
Yeah, I'm just like, dude, can you put that in the blender?
Just want people to show some interest, but there are some people showing interest in
Well,
locations there.
Bob Wiley says Shipley's Dog Nuts. at
Oh,
Arby's.
Michelle Hawkins, yes, on the end. So we have a Mexican food restaurant, a check cashing place, a mattress store, and a game
No, you got to
room.
put the game room right next to the check cashing store with a window in the wall.
right
between the
like
two.
Yeah. Shh, you knock on the door.
Let me help you.
Yeah,
Well, we did. 14 of them got raided yesterday, apparently.
I saw that.
Zach Smith says a Cracker Barrel. Boy, a Cracker Barrel would be a
The
champion.
name came up again at that meeting a week or so ago with Cracker Barrel. They're talking to them, and maybe they've shown interest in it. They have shown interest before doing it. We got to get it done.
I've had the and I'm going to give you guys like a visual. I want you to picture you're coming up the loop over here by East High School,
Right.
and you exit right there at Mockingbird, and you go through the light to Salem Road. So across and to the right. So across Salem Road and on your right,
Back into the left.
right, not the JFK, right there should be a Rudy's Barbecue with fuel, a Cracker Barrel,
Wonderful.
and then you need that combination. You need a couple of those peripherals. You need like maybe a Whataburger there and a Kentucky Fried Chicken / Taco Bell and a Dairy Queen.
Something like that.
Well,
And a Dairy
and
Queen.
let me, not being the naysayer, but I always try to bring a different perspective.
Please do.
You look at where Cracker Barrels are.
On the main
They're on
highways.
the main highways. You don't have to leave the highway to get to a Cracker Barrel.
Correct.
That's true. So forget
And
Cracker Barrel.
unfortunately, our area of 59 that runs parallel to Victoria on the south side has no retail options, has no residential areas around it, has no reason to stop unless you're a farmer
or a truck.
or a trucker or you need industrial supplies.
So
And Cracker Barrel ain't going to be putting up something in those locations because there's no long-term viability because there's no other reasons to stop.
see, here's what I would tell you, G-Man. If you're coming in from Houston on 59, now follow me, folks, because I am right. You're coming in from Houston on 59. When you're in Edna,
Right.
you can exit and get some fuel right there.
Right there.
Okay. Otherwise, you have to exit and go left at Inez to go over to what used to be Smitty's.
Right.
You come down to the loop. Let's say you're coming from Houston to Hallettsville, and you take a right on the loop. You can come all the way around the loop, take a right on 77, and you have to go all the way to Walmart to find any fuel.
There you go.
Put a Rudy's with fuel. Put a Uncle Mutt's with fuel
You're local, Uncle Mutt's with fuel.
on Salem Road right there, and you will make a killing.
You would.
And I don't know why. Whoever owns the Dairy Queens in town, it's a family, whoever it is, Mr. Queen. You've got one over there by Citizens Hospital, and you've got, where's the other Dairy Queen?
Port Lavaca Highway.
Port Lavaca Highway.
And one on.
Can we embrace the 2000s and put one up on the north side of town? Every old person in Victoria wants to go by for a
They're
dilly
building a
bar.
dairy tree.
They were running one over here by West High School out there in that area.
Well, I saw, but here's the difference. Love Craig Logger, saw Craig yesterday, and the new dairy treat right there by Parkway Church is going to be phenomenal.
Oh, man.
But it's not a place where old people go and sit and congregate because it's a drive-in.
It looks like it too, man.
It's gonna be fantastic. You know, I did not know this, but Craig told me yesterday that the original dairy treat, the one right there by Dick's, is going to be raised, and a new one's going to be built on that location.
Are going to keep that. That's right, ladies and gentlemen.
So it's going to be fantastic.
Talked to Craig the other day.
Isn't he great? He and Robbie they're
Patty Woodward.
awesome couple.
To On and Craig and their family is wonderful. I love
Yep.
them.
So real quick, hockey minute.
Okay.
Stanley Cup Playoffs. Islanders eliminate the Penguins with a 5-3 win. Lightning eliminate the Panthers with a 4-0 win. And Minnesota forces a Game 7 with Vegas with a 3-0 win. So there you go.
By the way, with the same amount of reliability and credibility as Joe Biden espouses all the things he does, I will tell y'all that had I been elected mayor, all these things would have happened.
I know you'd be giving
Absolutely. Royal Dutch Shell.
Be
I would be on the,
sardonic.
I would be on the phone today with Royal Dutch Shell.
Your heart out. I know that.
Absolutely. And you'd be working harder than you've ever worked.
Bob Watley says, save the grill. Absolutely.
I'd say my man, Brother G, is going to call you here in a few minutes. Yes, sir.
Brother G, what's going on? What's happening this weekend? I know it's Memorial Day, big ceremony. Is it Monday night at the Field of Honor?
Boys weekend. I heard Ronnie calling in. It is. I'll be emceeing at 7:30 that night, and they're going to have the community band, Boy Scout flag retirement ceremony, and dedication of new Golden Crescent Gold Star Memorial. The eternal light's going to be lit that night. We're doing that.
That's very nice.
Isn't that wonderful?
How did your deal go last week where you were going to MC something and we were worried about mosquitoes?
250 of those warriors came in. We didn't have a problem out there, whatever the Lord blessed.
That's a God thing.
When the troops came in and before they went to Fort O'Connor, beautiful. They loved it. So many thank yous. So,
wow. Sean Brett's a great friend and he works at U of H. Super guy, but he's also one of the best guitarists you'll ever see, and just a great musician. Played with Scott Taylor, and I'm sure he's in another band now. He's just too much talent to be on the sidelines. He said, but this is brilliant, and he's absolutely right. He said, if you add direct flights from Victoria to Lake Charles, our airport is in the black. That is a brilliant comment.
You know what? I'm not sure. Here's why. You've got a bunch of bus tours going there now. Those people spend 6 hours getting lubed up, ready to go. So they loosen their slot machine arm.
Have you ever been on that bus? I ain't never been on that bus. Brother G ain't been on that bus. But we might all
if Brother G gets on the bus, it stops at the Victoria County line.
Right.
Austin Hicks says, Brother Moses, good morning. Come see us at the BCS AT&T store.
I will. Austin, I heard you were on talking about him yesterday.
Absolutely. Hey, I tell you what, that is a brilliant idea right there. You can't fly direct from Victoria to Vegas, but you can fly from Victoria to Lake Charles.
Yeah.
You can even do a day trip. Leave here at 7 a.m. We'll pick you up at 8 o'clock at night and bring you back.
So good. No, I mean,
it's so good. I got you. Do.
All right, Memorial Day ceremony at Daydale Plaza at 11 o'clock Monday morning. Let me give this some love because Victoria County also is sponsored. He was our guest speaker. I'll be emceeing at 11 o'clock downtown, Daydale Plaza. Police Chief Robert Arredondo will be our guest speaker.
Fantastic.
Weather looks good too. Weather looks pretty good for Monday.
We got 2 great ones there. Wanted to get those 2 out right there. And graduations tonight, Liberty, tomorrow East, Saturday West, and St. Joe on Sunday. All of them. You've already talked about the generals. I got one for you boys today. You said come up with something. All right, we know the most booed team right now in Major League Baseball.
The Astros.
Oh, I feel good, yes. And I got the most disliked Major League Baseball players. I love that one. I feel good.
The most disliked Major League Baseball players?
Most disliked Major League Baseball players 2021.
Juan Soto. He's only 21.
The most hated team in baseball.
Right now, booed team in baseball.
Booed team in baseball.
Houston Astros.
Oh, same thing. Translates to the same thing.
But most disliked Major League Baseball players. Top 5. How many Astros are in it? 3 of them.
That they hate the most? They got to hate Bregman.
He's number 5.
They got to hate Altuve.
He's number 2.
And they got to hate Carlos Correa.
He's number 4.
And they got it. So they got 2 more?
They got 2 more. Number 1.
No, we've only got 3 in the top.
Oh, okay. So the most hated player in baseball?
Most disliked player in baseball. Number 1, San Diego Padres.
Fernando Tatis.
Well,
or Machado.
Manny Machado.
Yeah, because what Manny did was he actually knew the rules. You guys saw last week. He's running towards second, and the guy is going to tag him and turn a double play. So Manny, in the base path, acting within the rules, where the rules say a player can slide at any time, he slides, and the guy has to avoid him and tag him, but he doesn't turn the double play. And the media immediately assaults the guy and says, hey, he's trying to hurt that second baseman. He caught the guy. And if you watch the video, he catches him. He pulls him up. He pats him on the seat. No blows were exchanged. And the way you know that it was a legit play is the other team didn't throw at
the
a
next
Padres
batter.
player. Ash and I have said it here. I'll take Carlos Correa, certainly defensively. Correa and Bregman are as good a left side of an infield as there are anywhere in baseball, except if I could have Fernando Tatis and Manny Machado.
Those guys
Those are the best.
Is good. Machado's good. Well, Machado was 1, Altuve 2, Odor, Yankee now, right?
Right.
Yeah, I think so.
Right now, Odor is number 3, most disliked player. Correa 4.
I think they don't like Odor because nobody knows how to pronounce his first name.
Yeah,
That's why.
He might have some odor. Astros strummed Bauer last night and win. What was it? 5-2.
5-2. I think.
5-2.
Yeah, Altuve went deep. Correa went deep.
Correa's been a little bit of a slump.
It was kind of nice to see because he's been the most mouthy critic. For as much as Astros fans respect Clayton Kershaw, because Clayton Kershaw is a good pitcher and he hasn't chirped his way around baseball.
Has not.
It was nice comeuppance on Bauer for the chirping that he's done on the Astros and said, you know what? Not last night. Ha ha.
We got it.
Ha-ha. Was that a ha-ha? Folks, feel free to laugh along.
Yeah,
You got anything else, brother man? We kind of just
Number 1 sales